look at one more graph. I know this video has been uploaded a little bit later, but if you got to it, I'm really glad. If not, we'll make do with it tomorrow. Graph using what you know from the previous examples. So what we know is that, well, what I can predict from the previous examples is that this x minus 2, when it was an x minus 2 earlier, what happened? An x plus 2 earlier, maybe what happened. I'm just going to go back to what I know. So I'm going to look for the x-intercept. That means that the y value is 0. I'm going to solve this out. So 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. I subtract 4 from both sides. That leaves me 0. Take the square root of both sides. The square root of 0 is still just 0, so I know I have an x-intercept at 2. And then I do my y-intercept. Sorry. That means that the x value is 0. So I'm going to plug in 0. You go ahead and plug in 0. Solve that out on your own. I'll do it up here. You can watch. So if you look, your y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, this is a circle, so the only option really is to connect these, and therefore it must look like this. Okay, so this is my center at 2, negative 2, and I have a radius of 2. So where does this come from? Well, I can kind of compare my center, the x value. So if I look at my center, it was at 2, negative 2. This was x, and this is y for center. And your radius is 2. So where does this come from? Well, where it comes from is that this 2 from my center comes from here. And this 2 for the center comes from here. And this 2 comes from the 4. So realistically, how do I get that? Well, the original equation for a circle is this. So because it has a minus, I know that when I compared it to this equation, okay, my h value here is 2. They have a minus and a minus, so h is just 2. This is a minus, but this is a plus, so it's really minus and negative 2. So therefore the k value is negative 2. And this is r squared, so therefore my radius is r squared equals 4. So r is equal to 2. Okay? So keep in mind that it's insane when it's inside the parentheses. So although it's minus h, it's just 2. That's kind of a way to remember, but it's not legitimate. So, but you can think that in your mind. Even though it's a minus, it's going to be, it's a negative 2. Wait, that's correct. Okay, yes, because the equation had a plus in it, but it's really minus a negative, so that made k negative. So you want one more example? The center here would be negative 4, positive 7, and my radius would be 9. Okay, take a look at these. Think about it. It should make a little bit of sense. We won't go into it too far this year, but I just want you to at least have a look at it before you go next year in Algebra 2.